Hey, everybody. It's Friday, so it's Friday NITA Talk. Hope you're doing fantastic and had a great week. Here in Canada, we had Canada Day, and in the States, we had July 4th. So hopefully you've had some good times with your family. I'd love it if you could subscribe to my YouTube channel and all the socials. And more importantly, just please comment something, anything, just so it's much more fun to engage with you. And I don't feel like I'm really just talking to my screen every week. Anyway, today I wanted to chat a little bit about feeling anxious and nervous when you're trying to make a good impression. And so sometimes we get into these situations where we are meeting new people, or you need to make a good impression. And I feel like, three parts to this where anxiety can get really high, and it can almost be sometimes debilitating when we get into our head too much, whether it's something small about you're just going to a party and you don't really know a lot of people there, all the way to maybe a job interview or closing a big client if you're an entrepreneur, a business deal, whatever. But when you're trying to make a good impression, I feel like there's three times that really make it challenging. The first is thinking about it in advance. You're worried, you're panicking, you're like, oh my God, how's it going to go? Is it going to be okay? If you can get through that and not panic about it, sometimes even during the moment, you're spending the entire time being a little bit on edge, thinking about, did I say the right thing? Am I looking okay? And especially if it's a long time. So, interviews, as an example, can tend to be really short and you can almost get through it. If it's a party or an all-day event, suddenly, and you're meeting all these people and that people are watching you, that people are looking, or at least that's how you feel. They're assessing you out. It sometimes feels really nerve-wracking. And so you can kind of go, all right, did I say everything right? And is everything going well? And then sometimes you can put your guard down going, wow, I think everything feels great. And you put your guard down and you relax. So if you get through the first one time where you're in advance going, no, I'm going to be great. And then you're at the party or you're at an event or you're at an interview or you're somewhere where you're trying to make a good impression. And then all of a sudden you let your guard down, and maybe you aren't as aware of what you're saying or doing or behaving and how people are looking at you. And then the third phase comes in, which I feel is the worst, and it's usually the one that hits me the most, is when after the fact, like the next day, all I do is I think about and I disintegrate every single thing that I said or I did in every moment, and just like, oh my God, did I do that right properly? Did I say that properly? What happened? Oh, what happens if they don't like me? Or what happens if they, thought that I was silly, or I said that right or I said that wrong? And then it's like, oh my gosh, it's so hard, right? And so what I thought I would do is, I think we've all been through it at some point, is to just really believe in yourself. And it is actually okay if not everybody likes you, because the reality is not everybody is going to like you. And being okay with that, being okay to go, you know what? Not everyone's going to like me. Not everyone's going to love me, but I like myself. I love who I am. And I know that my heart's in the right place. And I do great things that will go out there and make people's world a better place because I said hello to them, or I met them, or maybe I made a story. And I bet you a lot of the things that you think about or worry about or wonder about aren't even things that other people are thinking about. And quite honestly, even if they did, even if people gossiped about you or said things that weren't necessarily the kindest and you heard about it later, they're not living your life. And they've probably already moved on to other things. They're not actually thinking about you as much as you think that they're thinking about you, no matter how good of an impression that you want to make. So all I want to say to you is, A, no point in stressing about it in advance when something hasn't happened. B, just be your authentic self. It doesn't even matter. Just be yourself when you're in that situation, because yourself is the best you can be, and there's truly no one else like you but you. And 3, after the fact, even if it didn't go perfectly, think about all the things that did go perfectly and be proud of that. And just know that you are a unique person. You made probably a really good impression in many things, and they're not perfect either. And just love on yourself and know that the next time, that if there was something that maybe you could have done a little bit differently, Take it as a learning experience. We do better when we learn from things that don't always go great than we do from things that go perfectly. So even if you yourself go, oh, maybe I could have done that a little bit differently or a little bit better, great. Kudos to you. If you think you did it perfectly and you still got some maybe bad feedback or whatever, you know what? That's their problem. Let them feel that way. You just enjoy being you, because you know what? You're worth it. Thanks, everyone. I will see you next week.